welcome into the first episode of the Blue Room podcast, where we talk about everything but politics and country music. Today we're kind of discussing a topic for Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. We're going to discuss men's mental health, and I do have some special guests with me. Y'all already know me, but I'm going to let them introduce themselves. Go ahead, John.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Ballard, and I've known Blue King now for a couple of years. I'm honored to be here, a part of the Blue Room podcast. I've been married for 8 years to my wife, Emily. She is absolutely amazing. I don't deserve her. And speaking of mental health, she checks me often. She's like, you need some self-care. So I'm thankful for a woman in my life that reminds me of that.
That's dope.
But other than that, I got 2 biological kids that are 4 and 2. And then my wife and I have been doing foster care for 2 years. And so we've done foster care for 3 different teenagers and 2 toddlers, and, anything and everything you can imagine that comes along with that. Mental health is a really near and dear thing to my heart. And so I'm excited to be here, talk a little bit about that, my experience, and kind of, what helps me. And, everybody's different. And, I like that we have 3 different people here that can kind of talk from 3 different experiences and the things that we do. So that's pretty much it about me.
Fire. We got one more special guest. Well, Cutie Pie, go ahead, say something.
Yo, it's your boy. Yeah, I bet you I didn't expect I was going to be in the first episode of the podcast, But anyways, yeah, I don't have like any like crazy story. If you know Blue, you probably know me already. I like to stream a lot. I am a variety streamer. I like to play, anything, do just chatting, and yeah, follow me on YouTube, Yamo ASAP.
Follow on
about
YouTube?
myself and like men's mental health. Oh yeah, subscribe to my YouTube and stuff like that. Yeah. But about like mental health for me, this is like, I honestly don't like go through anything like too crazy when it comes to like my mental health. But there are times where I actually need to like sit and reflect with myself. So, and on top of that, I do have people to talk to. So yeah, I feel like everybody should have somebody to like at least talk to when it comes to like mental health and stuff like that. But that's my take.
Okay, dope. So the first thing we kind of want to discuss topic-wise is society's depiction of what a man should be. And we're going to, for all the topics, we're kind of all give our perspectives on stuff like that. Like if you guys have followed my question of the days, you kind of know how this type of thing goes. We're just doing kind of a longevity type of vibe. So my society's depiction of what a man should be, I think from what I've experienced is one of the most toxic things to a man. And I'll tell you why. It's like society says, one, that we're supposed to be so hard and cold and stoic, and we're never supposed to be able to show our emotions, never show who you really are, and as if we're not human beings. We're just supposed to provide and be this stature of just cold labor. It's just like, I understand being a provider and a leader for your family, but there are moments where you should be allowed to be an individual that has emotions. I think the whole toxic masculinity, especially in the black neighborhood, I'm not going to get into race and all that stuff because I don't want to make that what it is, because that comes off political and that's not what I'm trying to do. But like being raised as a black kid, you get told to suck up a lot of stuff that you shouldn't have to. You're told oftentimes that speaking your mind and doing stuff like this is not something you should do. Like it puts you into a mental bubble that, one, everything that you're feeling, you shouldn't be feeling. And 2, that nobody wants to hear it. And there's 2 big things that followed me all the way up until like college and everything like that. I kept trying really hard to be accepted because I felt like that was the only way that I wasn't going to be alone at the end of the road, right? I didn't feel like people would accept me for who I am and the type of person I really am at heart. And that mentality is what a lot of people suffer with, especially like with a lot of men suffer with, better yet. It's just like, it's okay to be sad. It's okay to feel things. It's okay to do all that stuff. Now, do I think that you should express that with everybody? No. Not everybody should have the access to you and who you are. But know that it's okay to be a human being. Although society constantly tells you, hey, what you're doing, all this soft stuff, all this emotional stuff, don't do it. That's for women. That's feminine. All that stuff. You are a human being just like everybody else. And I think that society often contrives that opinion, and it always often shifts it, especially now that social media is as prominent as it is. We have this whole term sassy, because I speak and I don't like something that you do, I'm sassy. It's just another word of just saying like feminine. And like, y'all get to talk about, like, everyone gets to talk about how they feel about stuff except men. And I think that's society's fault. I'll let you guys speak your point of views on stuff like that. What do you think, Ballard?
Yeah, I was going to say one thing that you said that kind of struck me is like, it puts you in this mental bubble. And like, thinking of that metaphor of like, okay, you're walking around in this bubble. Like, nobody needs to know how you really feel. Society thinks you're supposed to be this hard thing. And like, you know, when you try to reach out of that bubble, like, one, you're scared the bubble's going to pop, because it's like, this bubble's been around me my whole life. Like, my dad told me to suck it up when I was a kid. If I got, you know, fell off my bike or something, my dad's like, rub some dirt on it, you'll be all right. Like, I think that being raised in our generation is just like, you know, shove away your feelings, don't worry about it, and press on. Just like you said, we got to be like cold and hard, and you be this like big masculine man. And it's like, you know, that's not what we need to be. And, you know, and I don't even think that it's like people don't want to hear it. I think just for so long, men haven't talked about it. And so now when men talk about their feelings, if it's like, you know, let's say I'm in a store and somebody's like, hey, how's it going? Like, you know, as like an exercise, just being like, you know what, I'm a little sad today because whatever reason, whatever it may have been, my boss yelled at me for something that I did and it was wrong. And no, I'm just kind of upset by it. Like just trying that out but you'll see like how uncomfortable that'll make people.
Yeah.
Like somebody be like, okay.
What next? What's now? You know what I mean?
Right.
You said that. I was expecting a good, like,
I was expecting a fine. You didn't say fine, so now I don't know what to do.
Exactly.
But I think just that conditioning over time does put us in this mental bubble, and you know, as men, like I think the more that we practice it and try to use our words and maybe even call people out when it's like you're not even, you know, especially those close to you. Like if you tell somebody that you don't really know that well how you feel and they write you off, like just take it as experience for practicing to tell people that really care about you. But you know, the people that are close to you, you can even say like, hey, I feel like you're not hearing me out, or I feel like you don't want to hear about my feelings. And I think the more you open up that conversation, the better it gets. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely tough, you know, and having small children, it's like, I try to help them identify it and be like, hey buddy, like, what are you feeling? And we have books and stuff like that show like facial expressions and all of that, but just trying to pull that out of them to help them identify it. Cause dude, there's sometimes that I'm like, I'm angry, but I don't really know if I'm angry. And I don't really even know what anger is. So I'm just going to keep working. I'm going to forget about it. Or I'm going to go play video games and maybe that'll help.
Yeah. What about you, Asa? What you think about that?
Okay, so, well, I'm going back to like what you like. It's like how men should be. Honestly, there are times where I think the way society depicts men is like actually dog shit. Like, there's at one point, right, when my mom told me, since you're the man, since you're the man of the house, or you're gonna be the man, right? You should always be the one who's like taking care of like everything financially, like every single thing. And I'm like, okay, so like, what if I'm like at my lowest, right?
Yeah.
Am I still supposed to like take care of like bills and shit like that? Like, am I not supposed to like any help? So I don't know. Maybe that's like, maybe that's how like they grew up. Like, I kind of get it from that like standpoint, but like, it's just to me that doesn't make any sense.
Not to cut you off or anything. Not to cut you off, but that topic kind of raises another thing about society. How they were raised is not anywhere close to how we are living. Inflation is crazy. Society is completely different. You can't work a job at a factory and get a home in a year. You can't. It's just not how the world works anymore. It's just not how like you can't work at McDonald's and have a 3-bedroom house. And they expect and like the whole narrative that, you know, of course, when I have enough money, right, when I'm rich, I'm going to make sure that everyone around me and that everyone I care about has to never worry about anything. But expecting that from somebody that is still figuring out their life just like you is insane. But because everybody's taught the same thing, it's like it's habitual to think that. It's just like every oh, you're the man, you're gonna pay for this. But what are you gonna do with your side of things? You know what I mean? It's like, dude, I'm not making enough to pay for you and me. I'm barely making enough to you. Does that mean am I not a bachelor of love? Do I not deserve love? Do I not deserve a relationship? Do I not deserve to be happy? Because I'm not rich. I'm not like right. To hold two people, you have to be making like really good money in this day and age. Dude, a dozen of eggs are like $8 right now.
Oh, wait, a dozen?
Yeah, bro.
Like 12 eggs is $8.
Dude, it's almost $1 an egg.
It is crazy out there right now.
It's crazy right now. Gas used to be gas during their time that they're telling us the traditional living and everything like that. They had people pump their gas and it was maybe it never get higher than $1. It's $3 and some change right now for not as good quality gas. Stuff that burns like this. Taxes are higher. Houses are higher. Jobs are paying less. But we're still, pick yourself up by your bootstraps.
Working and paying less.
Dude, what? People understand, Brad. 40 hours, right? 40 hours a week you're working of your life, right? Let's do some math. People don't understand how crazy it is. The living that we're in right now. So look, you're working 40 hours a week, right? And you work 160 hours a month. That's almost 2,000 hours a year. And let's say, what's a good ratio? Let's say you worked the job for 20 years. After working for a company, maybe you found a really good career in a really good company, right? You have worked almost 40,000 hours of your lifespan. And some of these companies, they don't treat you well. So you've worked all that time for them to fire you because either you're too old to keep working with the company or they're making budget cuts. And rather than the boss at the top taking less off a profit, they'd rather fire you. And you know what you have to do? Come home and say absolutely nothing about it. You are not allowed to feel angry. You're not allowed to feel upset. You're not allowed to feel any of those things because you're a man. And I think that's crazy. Like, it's just mental health for men is just constantly undershadowed. Like, literally, the concept of Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, people don't know about it because it's Pride Month too. Not hating on Pride, but I didn't even know it was Men's Mental Health Awareness Month until I found out like a few days ago. I didn't even know that this month was that. And that's just like the
Mental Health Month is like June.
It's this month, dude.
Wait.
Yes.
Really? No.
Yeah.
Literally. That's why I did this podcast. That's why I did it. That's why this is the center of the.
Really?
Really? And we're talking about it, and we don't even know. That's the issue that I'm having.
Who's mental health?
What? What?
Preposterous.
Wait.
It's literally it's the epitome of men's mental health. It's often undershadowed by everything else going on in life. It's literally a physical representation of that.
When did this even win?
I have no clue. It's probably been happening for a good amount of years now. We just didn't know. But
1994.
Jesus Christ!
My first time hearing about this. Are you serious?
That's embarrassing.
That's wild.
I'm not gonna lie. That's embarrassing. That's really bad. That's really bad. I'm not gonna lie. Men's Mental Health Awareness Month has been around longer than I have. That's crazy. Wild. That's crazy, man. I don't want to be one of those people that goes into the suicide rates and all that stuff and how bad men mental health gets. I don't want to do that. I don't want to make it a depressing like time and anything like that. I want us to better from this moment. You know what I mean? But the next concept that we're gonna kind of discuss is coping mechanisms. Essentially anything that you do to kind of get over how you feel about a lot of stuff. There are good coping mechanisms, there are bad ones. I want to discuss both. I'll just list like some stuff and kind of explain myself. For one, I think a good coping mechanism is sports. I think sports and video games are probably the best way. It's because they completely alter our reality. Sports is something that we can't touch for the most part. Professional sports, we know that we'll never be a GM, but we'll bet on a game. You know, we'll never be on the court, but we'll watch the games in the bars and the sports bars with our friends and stuff like that. And video games are that virtual reality getaway. Women don't understand often why we're able to play the game so long. It's because we can be whoever and whatever on the game. We can get away like completely from it. Yeah.
I feel like there's a thing with video games that like people who just don't play don't understand like why it's like it kind of impacts people like a lot. Like there's a reason why like nostalgia when it comes to like old school games like the older generation, because like when those guys were like smaller and they were going through their tough times, they had something like, you know, Zelda or freaking Call of Duty to like pretty much cope for like their tough times and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
I completely agree. I think that especially during that time, if you really look back at video games when they were first becoming like, what was that, like second or third generation, a lot of them deal with like existential crisis, like especially like horror games, like Resident Evil. What's that other game? What is it? Silent Hill, Dead Space. You know what I'm saying? There were a lot of games where it was just a completely different universe but still connected to you were in the real world. And like people like for 2K, for example, people sink hours to 2K. You want to know why? Is you can completely control everything about it. You can control how you look, how tall you are, how big you are, how fat you are, how skinny you are, what clothes you wear, how you play the game, what team you play on, how well you do. The reason why a lot of JRPGs and RPGs in general do so well is because you're able to completely create a completely different persona at a whim. You're able to be completely different. And on video games, most times it's the most accepted area, bruh. Like, of course, there's communities that are toxic. Every gaming community, every community in general of anything has toxicity somewhere in it, right? But like, getting on the dude, when Warzone came out during the pandemic, there was nothing I loved more than getting on that plane and dropping into Verdansk. It was literally the most like fun I've had in a long time. And it was very simplistic. You did the same thing every single time. But because you had the freedom to where to drop, how well you did it, what guns to pick, that freedom mentality is what men look for, bruh. And that's why we dive so heavily into stuff like that. And I think that's a healthy coping mechanism, right? Now, the bad mechanisms are normally substance use. And I don't want to get too deep into that because I don't want to trigger anybody or make anybody.
We already know alcohol, drugs.
Like that type of stuff is not good for you, bro. If you feel like every time you're upset, like for the weed smokers, because I'm one of y'all. I don't do it as much as I used to, but if you have to smoke weed to do everything, you have to get mental health, buddy. Like seriously, like on a friendship level thing, like I'm talking to you directly. If you can't wake up in the morning without smoking, if you can't go outside your door without smoking, if you can't get inside your car without smoking, if you can't get outside of your car without smoking, if every step of your life on a daily basis requires you to smoke something, you have to seek help. Because like there's no way that you're okay with being that lucid if you're not running from something. And whatever you're running from is never going to go away. And you'll never be able to get past the point that you're at if you're constantly lucid. Drinking is way worse to me personally, right? Because not only are you like lucid, but you're killing yourself slowly and putting your. Yeah.
Here's the thing: even after like you're done with your drug or high, at the end of the day, like once you finish like taking whatever substance you're taking, you're still
in that same situation.
You're still in the same situation. Like, so when you're in that same situation, you feel like, oh man, let me go ahead and pop another bottle. Let me, light up another blunt or some shit. The situation's still gonna be there while you're high.
It is.
It's not gonna go away. So you're making your mind slower. You're still fucking your life up. You're spending money on shit you don't need. So
yeah, and I think and those things, and it may not be a common belief here, but I do think video games kind of go in the category of bad coping mechanisms only because you're escaping reality. And like, that's the big thing is like, if I'm, let's say, like, okay, I'm married, I got kids, I got a full-time job, right? Let's say I just got laid off. Let's say my kids are maybe they're older and they're not like saying I love you as much anymore. Or maybe my wife is being like super cold to me. That's all there. If I leave and go play video games and get that short little high for like 2 or 3 hours of like escaping that reality, I come back. Now, maybe I come back a little refreshed because I'm like, I had some me time, but ultimately playing that game or, you know, using that substance, gambling, whatever it may be, anything that isolates you, I think once you come back into reality, you want to feel that way again. So you're like, I need that again.
Go back.
I need to go back to it.
Thing. There's a lot of, when it comes to video games, there's good ways you can cope, and there's like also, you know, shitty ways. Like when you play a game, let's say you're just playing just straight Call of Duty for like hours on end. You're not like, you're just like, you know, going around playing regular game modes and shit like that.
Yeah.
And you're not like kind of like learning from like your experience type shit.
Yeah.
There's like people who actually like use games to like help them with like life perspective type shit.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how many people have told you that Dark Souls has saved their fucking lives. Like bro, it is wild how many times I go and like I look on like somebody's story. I like, oh yeah, this game's difficulty helped me like
develop
like,
discipline and determination. That's what it does.
Yeah, like so it's like good ways and there's also bad ways to like.
I think it's definitely connotation and situational. Like if you get in an argument and you close yourself off, right? Let's say you're with your girl or whatever, you get an argument. You're instead of like acknowledging the problem, you're really making it worse because now you set the precedent that there is happiness in you somewhere. But rather than addressing the problem that you're having and pulling out the knife, you're keeping it in. And now, logically, whenever you get stabbed in a situation, keeping that in is stopping like you from bleeding out. But if you keep that knife in forever, you're going to die from infection. And that infection is that constant repetition of, I need to play the game, I need to play the game. That's that infection, right? But that wound may carnalize and stuff like that. And it being there is going to mess with your organs. And your organs are like your day-to-day life. You're going to start thinking at work, I need to get on the game. At home, you're with whoever you're with, I got to get on the game. You can't even go outside properly anymore because you want to be on the game.
Right.
Like you're out with your friends. Like, don't get me wrong. My social battery sometimes, it is like, whoo! Like you say something one time, I'm like, okay, let's wrap it up. That was the one, right? Mm-hmm. But you shouldn't depend on anything to make you happy. I think that's something that a lot of men, I think that is the pinnacle of existence for men. Finding something within us that doesn't involve anything else that makes us happy and protecting that thing.
Yeah, and kind of what you talked about too, about like what society thinks, carrying that over into video games or substance use or whatever it is. Like, I think that you also need to find healthy community. So like video games for me is, look, I suck at video games, but I have met so many cool people playing games and had so many deep conversations and built really cool, like Blue, that's how we met. So it's like having deep conversations, getting to know people on a personal level, much more than just being like, let's run into the house and shoot this dude and run into the next house. And yeah, we're going to play again tomorrow. It's like, nah, man, like, hey, how you doing? Like, you know, what's going on in your life? You know, things like that. So that's the thing that I enjoy about it. And, you know, the isolation piece is easy. It, you know, for guys, it's like we could just go isolate, play for hours on end. But I encourage you, you know, anybody listening to this to find community. That's the biggest thing, wherever it is. Maybe it's not video games for you. Maybe it's like you love playing chess. Maybe you love playing board games. Like whatever it is, you can literally pick up your phone, Google chess club near me in the closest city, and I guarantee you're going to find something where there are like-minded people that are just like you. You don't even have to start talking about life. You can connect on that level of game or, you know, whatever it may be. Maybe like bird watching, whatever it is. It doesn't matter. Like find other people that like to do that thing, get to know them, build a relationship, and start talking about your feelings. Yeah, man. So helpful.
That actually kind of transitions into the next thing I want to talk about is taking personal issues and trauma into safe spaces and how to create those said safe spaces. That was perfect that you said that. That was literally a great transition. For me, right, safe space, dude, the people that I've met online are like 100 million gajillion billion fulshillion gazillion times better than the people I meet in person.
A lot of people
like,
say that. Yeah.
Like ASAP, I've met in person, right? I knew him like he I met him at band camp. He was trying to go to the band camp that I was going to school at, right? I met him.
Right.
Outside of ASAP, and like literally outside of ASAP, everybody that I does content with or anything like that, I have never met in real life, ever. Like 90% of my friends that I'm actually close with that know who I am as a person, I've met online. Like, I'm just being honest, and not to say that's for everybody. It's not. Listen, people will be lying on the internet about who they are. Don't make that. Don't. They be lying, right? But find a space where you can be you, but like be you around them. I did a question the day recently about what's a moment in time that you just never forget, like that just changed you. And my freshman year of college, dude, I was finally surrounded by people that allowed me to be who I am and accepted me and loved me, right? And for like years 1 through 18, I shut down like this. If I ever heard something I didn't want to hear, you would never hear another word out of me emotionally, because that is how society is raising us, right? And now I'm so transparent about everything. If you talk to me, it doesn't matter if you're in a relationship with me, if I'm your friend, if I'm like your mentor or you're my mentor, anything like that, you will know who I am like that. If you ask me anything, I'll be honest, because at the end of the day, now I know. And I think this is the best part about a safe space is now that I know there are people out there that really love me for me. And there are people out there that will love y'all for you. Dude, these people that are calling you sassy and saying that you talk too much. Anything that you find in yourself that you love that somebody doesn't like, leave that person alone. There's somebody out there that will love you for who you are. And the people that don't, they're missing out. And that's just what it needs to be. Now, I know there are some emotional ties that you may have to people that accept you in certain spaces or treat you better than most. But there are people that will accept you and treat you well. And I didn't know that for a long time. And I know that is a hard concept to gather for a lot of people. But there are people out there that will love you exactly how you are made and exactly how you're trying to become. And not only love you and care for you and do all that, but they will support you becoming better. And I think that's that safe space and creating those safe spaces. You I would say progressively reveal who you are. Don't do it from the jump, but also don't be fake. Don't be something completely different from when you start to when you finish. Show bits and pieces of who you are. You know what I'm saying? You like this, you like that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe something that's dicey. Maybe you throw that in. Do you like anime? You know what I'm saying? Do you like video games? Not everybody likes that. But understand that how their response to it is the most important part. If you say, hey, do you like anime? And they immediately respond with, ew, you like anime? That's not the person for you. If they're like, no, it's not for me, but I mean, it's not for me. That's somebody that you can, you know what I'm saying? Y'all not going to always connect on a personal level on everything that you believe in, right? But somebody being more introspective and understanding that you like that thing, so maybe I'll indulge in it. And they enter your world. Somebody that's interested in entering who you are and your world and your subconscious. I think that's the biggest part of really developing better mental health. Finding people that not only love you, support you, and care about you, but like allowing yourself to be who you are with those people. I don't know, but I kind of went on a kind of long tangent there because that kind of hit me. You know what I'm saying? That point right there is kind of personal.
You felt that one.
I felt that one internally, bruh. But go ahead. What do y'all go ahead before I take the next hour and a half talking about that?
Nah, but that was great though, bro. Like I'm sitting here like, why is this nigga not famous? This nigga is just spinning straight facts. Like just straight fucking facts. But this one, like, you know what? In honor of homie, there's one streamer I used to watch. I feel like a lot of people used to watch him. But
you about to say I know you about to say. Yeah.
So this guy, he was like the most open-minded like streamer that like everybody was able to connect to him on like some sort of level. And I feel like if you're just like open-minded like he was, then you can find, people you can like actually connect to, like even if it's something that you never like thought that you would like for real. if you stay like open minded, then like maybe you can, find the people you actually like want to talk to, something like that. I don't know, but yeah, he was like freaking W streaming for that. Everybody around him fucking loved him for it.
Mhm.
So if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. But
Yeah, like finding that community. You talked about whatever it is. Like, for me, I'm a religious guy, so I know not everybody is, but like I found a group of other Christian men that are trying to lead their families well. And like when I've been at the peak of my mental health was when I was with them and sharing hard things that are happening in my life and listening to the hard things that are happening in their life and trying to figure out together how we can better lead our families. So it's like, whatever that is for you, like Blue said, if it's anime, if it's, chess, whatever it may be, like it can be any slew of different things. Like find that group and community, and that is going to be your safe space. And too, like to even take this to like another level is like inside of your home, find a place that you consider your safe space. So it's like, you don't have to go to that community all the time. Like there's some self-regulation that you can do when you start feeling like heavy feelings and things like that. It's like, there's a recliner in my house, and it's like anytime I start feeling like angry or less patient with my kids or sad about something, it's like I go sit in that recliner no matter what's going on. Like kids are running around crazy, whatever. I sit in that recliner. That's my safe spot. Like I rock a few times, I think about it, I reflect a little bit, and then boom, like I get back up, I know what I got to do. I'm like, all right, later on, I'm going to deal with this. But for right now, I just need to feel like a little bit of safety and regulation to get myself back to where I need to be so that I can be the dad that I need to be for my family.
That's fire. That's fire. That's fire. I completely agree. I don't have necessarily a safe space. I think the outdoors is my safe space. Like whenever I'm going through something, I literally would. It's embarrassing, right?
Wait, didn't you say it was music though?
Yeah. I'm about to get into it. This is the embarrassing part, right? I take my music, but I only have one AirPod. I have one AirPod, bro. I lost the other one, and I have headphones, but the other headphones that I use, they mess up. And these headphones are like, they have like audio jacks, but it's USB. So I take my one AirPod and I play my Thumpers playlist, literally the playlist I live off of every single day, and I just go walk. Now where I end up is wherever the music takes me, bro. But like nothing around me exists outside of nature, this music, and me. Sometimes you just gotta like. Sometimes it's okay to not fester in emotions, man. Sometimes you just gotta breathe. Like that anxiety, dude. For a long time, like I was told that bottling all that stuff up is never gonna help you, but every time I open up the bottle cap, somebody throws a Mentos in it and just blows it up anyway. You know what I mean? So it's like either I keep a cap on it or I allow somebody the opportunity to lower the fizz, or they're gonna blow it up worse than it was before. So I like remove myself, but not in a toxic way. You got to know how to remove yourself and not just be like the world doesn't exist, and the problems that you're going through don't exist. Remove yourself, breathe.
The like thing that
go ahead.
Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good.
So what you like just described, like taking yourself out of the situation and going out into nature with your music, like that's called like grounding yourself. Like you gotta like stay grounded. You gotta like come back, the feeling of like you're floating away and like coming back to earth. And like there's some really good, like if you struggle, anybody that's listening to this, if you struggle like feeling like you're just like floating off into space, or you're like in this bubble of emotion and you don't know how to get out of it, go take a walk and do like there's grounding techniques. Like literally just go Google it, but like you look around, name 5 things you see. And you're like, okay, cool. Like, I see this tree, I see this bird, I see this old man, like, getting his mail, whatever it may be. Mm-hmm. And then you do 4 things you can touch. So it's like, maybe you're like, oh, I got my left AirPod in because my right one's gone. You're like,
how did you know it was my left one?
Because we talked on the phone yesterday.
Go ahead, bro. So I was like, ain't no way.
Yeah.
No, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
So 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear. So it's like your music. That's 1. and you only got one, so you got an advantage. Like maybe you hear a bird, like maybe there's a car driving by. Two things you can smell, like, and then one thing you can taste. Like maybe it's what you had for lunch. Maybe you just drank some water and you taste something. But like the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, like literally Google it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 grounding technique. If you struggle with grounding yourself and getting back to where you need to be to regulate, this is perfect. And the only reason I know things like this is because through foster care, like we're having children in our home that deal with severe trauma. And so knowing these different techniques is so helpful for them. And then I'm like, wait a second, this isn't only helpful for, a 3-year-old that's been abused and displaced from their family, but like this is good for a 30-year-old man that never learned how to identify his emotions.
Fire.
So
that's fire. I'll say another coping mechanism I think that everybody should try. But I know this is about men's mental health. Go to the gym, bro. Yeah, I'm telling you, but I know it's hard. I know it's. Listen. Look at me. I know that first day of getting out of your bed, giving someone your money so that you can use their facility, and working out is hard. It's not about the first day.
It's not even just going to the gym. Just work out. You don't even have to go to the gym.
You can do it at home, but if you the reason I say go to a gym is because you doing it at home, you're gonna do it passively. You're gonna do it. Oh, I did some jump jacks and I'm gonna sit down. The reason I say, go ahead.
It's like you just have to discipline yourself. It's like the same thing as like disciplining yourself to go to the gym. Like even if it's because you're doing it on your own, call up a friend who's working out. If you can call up a friend,
exactly.
So we do a couple workouts together. Hit some jump up, go run, buy you some dumbbells, buy you weighted vests, all that type of stuff. Dude, you don't even have to go to the gym to, get your like self straight, man.
The reason, yeah.
And then once you do it at home, it builds. I feel like it builds more discipline than going to the gym.
I'll say that the reason I say go to a gym rather than doing it at home is because it takes a level of discipline to do it at home. Because you're at home. The same type of discipline that it took for like during COVID if you were in school. That type of discipline, like, is the same type of discipline it would take for you to work out at home. I think when you're at the gym, for example, like I work at a gym. Planet Fitness is one of the best places to work out, and I'll tell you why. For one, everybody looks like you. Like it's literally their slogan is a judgment-free zone. And there's like fitness trainers, and having somebody to tell you and like not only like drive you, but also embrace that you're trying and that effort is going to bring out something in you to the point where you start getting comfortable and doing it on your own. When you start working out on a regular day basis and you love it, dude, there is not many feelings that I have felt better than looking at myself in the mirror after working out for a consecutive amount of time. Dude, I was almost 300. I was almost 300 pounds in January. Almost 300 pounds. I am 240 right now.
Let's go, dude.
Like, nice. Dude, I feel more attractive, dude. And I look the same. Facial pictures look the same, right? I just look at myself. I'm like, damn, I'm kind of.
But it's that feeling,
you know what I'm saying? But it's the feeling that you're having not only discipline but dedication to yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And look at, dude. Listen, another thing that is connected to that. Wake up in the morning and look at yourself in the mirror and try not to smile. Just look at yourself. Just look at yourself until you and just literally have a staring contest with yourself and try not to smile. That is the best way. I'm telling you. I know it sounds stupid, but you will start to fall in love with yourself physically, bruh. It's just like you're kind of a cutie pie, bruh. Oh, dude, go ahead. Listen, all of my friends are cutie pies. All my guy friends are cutie pies. I don't care, bruh.
I look in the mirror, but I think I do more than smile, bro. It's just.
Hey, listen, slow down. I don't want you. That sounded a little suspect, my boy.
Hey, hear me out.
You do more than smile. You know what I'm saying? What are we talking about happening in this mirror right now?
Hear me. Okay, anyways, so we're going past the mirror. I just wanted to say something. Planet Fitness. The fact that you said that Planet Fitness is one of the best places you worked out, you probably triggered like 90% of gym goals.
Oh yeah, for sure. Them Gold's gyms, motherfuckers. Them goddamn Gold's gyms. Dude, I went to Gold's Gym one time Never again.
You probably
Never again.
Significant.
Dude.
He's deadlifting 625 pounds next to me. What
Dude,
am I supposed to do?
I'm strong as fuck, right? I'm strong as hell. I get in there, I'm seeing 4 or 5 plates on these goddamn benches. And I'm like,
people are wild.
Dude, I'm seeing dudes drink the powder out of the container. No, I'm like, what is happening in here? Yeah, and dude, the dude at the front desk, shirt small, he's an extra large for sure, right? You know what I'm saying? Everybody's juiced up. What's up, brah? I'm here. I heard brah at least 37 times that day. I'm just like, there's no way that people say brah in 2023. Dude, I think the lowest pound curling dumbbell was like 45 pounds. I'm like, Jesus Christ! What?
You go over to the kid.
It's not.
You go over to the daycare section. That's where they have the rest, and you're like, oh, dang, I gotta work in here. I'm working out here with the 5-year-olds, bro.
Dude, it's just like, you know what I mean? And I'm not. This is listen. Side note. This is not an advertisement for Black Planet Fitness unless you're sponsoring. If you're sponsoring, that's something else. We can discuss a little bit of numbers and stuff like that. I'll sponsor y'all every single. You know what I'm saying? All that. But dude, and have something else. Two more things. One, meditation. Ty actually convinced me to do that. I believe Ty Games. If y'all don't know who Ty Games is, shout out to the man Ty Games. Ty taught me about meditation and just sitting in not necessarily lo-fi music, but if that makes you feel more comfortable at the beginning. But there's like low vibrational music, and you just think about, just take moments and just think about the good day that you're gonna have. I'm gonna have a good day today. And just constantly repeating that. It literally enters your psyche. Like your energy is completely different. Like my energy is completely different if I don't meditate that day and I just woke up late. It's just like the whole energy is completely different. And the last thing, have a regular way to treat yourself. Accolades should be taught. Like I said this before, I forgot it, probably in a question of the day, or I think I did that in my first, like my what is it when you the first episode of a show, you know what I'm talking about?
Pilot or the
okay, so my pilot episode of the Blue Room that y'all will never see because I don't have that footage. But
you gotta send me that.
But essentially I was saying like every accomplishment should be met with like celebration, dude. You accomplished something that you didn't do yesterday. Celebrate it. It doesn't always have to be a huge birthday party, bubbly bath, and whatever you want to call it. But hey, I did this. Take yourself out. Go get some Waffle House. You know what I'm saying? It could be simple as you going out and treating this. Right. You know what I'm saying? Go buy you saw that shirt in that you walked past that shirt in that store. Go get that shirt. Stop! Stop! Well, there goes my video. That's your DMCA. But dude, reward yourself for the things that you do. You are great. Acknowledge that shit, man, because you'll never be able to really enjoy life. You'll constantly be on a 90 mile per hour. I do this. If you never acknowledge where you're going, you will never make it to a destination. And I'm not saying that there should be a destination, but you'll constantly, endlessly be looking for something that's never coming.
Yeah,
it'll
also help if you like notice what you're doing, because there are gonna be times when you just like skim past that shit.
Yeah,
like it would never hit your mind that you like did something this fucking, and that happens to me a lot. Like recently, like I just made a fucking song. I didn't even pose or do shit.
Yeah,
right? And I was like, made a song, cool. Not thinking much of it. Make the next one. But I just fucking realized I just finished like a legit fucking song. Like this is my first song I ever did.
Yeah.
And that should be like something I fucking celebrate.
Yeah, for sure, dude. That's awesome, by the way.
Like so me and ASAP are like music kids. I did the same thing. When I wrote my first song, I was like, oh, this is cool. But because in the back of my mind I knew I could do better, I didn't acknowledge the fact that I even made the first step.
Right.
The first step should be celebrated, even if it sucks. Like just now, before we did this recording, I looked at listen, if you want inspiration, especially as a content creator, look at your first video.
Oh,
I promise you.
Oh my God.
I promise you, if you had any issues with thinking that your content isn't good, if you had any issues with thinking your gains weren't good, look at that first picture you took. Man, look at it. I'm telling you. I had
Good
such
reminder.
I had
That is
such a
very good
confidence boost. I'm smiling and laughing like this shit is ass. This shit is terrible. But you being able to acknowledge that should be something you celebrate, bruh. My thumbnails. I didn't even have a thumbnail in my first video. It was just a still frame. And I think my first video was like 6 seconds of me playing 2K16, and I wasn't even playing. It was literally just a recording of me standing, waiting for the next game to happen. 6 seconds, like that, and that's it. No intro, no outro, no words.
Boom, done.
No word, done. Upload it. Put a title on it.
I love it.
Send it. You know what I mean? And it's just like, moments like that really help you acknowledge, wow, my stuff is good right now. Dude, I am so proud of my editing. I'm so proud.
Yeah, dude.
I'm so, dude, it's so good right now. I feel like I'm on my way to my prime. I just need the viewers. I just need the viewers. You know what I mean? I just need the viewers. But like, it's I'm saying that to say this. Hey, like, use moments to acknowledge how far you've come, dude. Like, throughout this thing, we want you to speak about how you feel. Have safe spaces and stuff like that, and acknowledge to yourself, if you don't do it to anybody else, how far you've come as an individual, as a human being. You know what I mean? And then
yeah, and you
one thing that'll help, it's not just like celebrating your progression, also jot down progression. Like for content creators, like, hey, this month I have this amount of like subscribers.
Mhm.
Oh shit, let's try to gain like 5, 6, 10.
Yeah,
Like that 20 next month or some shit. Like, just, you know, keep noting your progression. And that'll definitely, like, you realizing that, you know, you're not gonna be stuck at where the fuck you're at forever. And that's not just, of course, that's just not for fucking YouTube. That's just like
in general,
in general, like for
like in life. Yeah,
So,
I say that. I did that. I screenshotted my Twitch followers for a long time, but I'll say that. Set goals, right? So like y'all can see down here, this is for my kick and everything like that, my follower goal or whatever. I set goals regularly, and after a while start getting outlandish with your goals. One of the most, this is perfect, right? One of the most inspirational stories I've heard from a content creator is RDC World 1, right? A lot of people don't know this story. I think he's told it in an interview. Mark, the main dude, y'all know who Mark is, right?
yeah.
Mark literally told everybody in RDC, we're going to get this house and we're not going to be able to afford it. And we're going to grind so hard that we're going to make rent. They had no means financially, job-wise, to make rent. You know what the fuck they did? They grinded so hard that they made rent, and they kept doing it. I think after a year, they were doubling, tripling their rent because they just kept coming up with ideas and dropping it. The consistency and continuously and progressively getting better, right? They forced that. And I'm not saying do that. That's crazy, right? That's crazy. Listen. Shout out to RDC World 1. That's a crazy testimony.
That is wild.
But I say that to say this. Start setting goals that don't seem realistic. Dude, I met this guy at work. I said that in one of my question of the days. His name's Nick. I met him at Planet Fitness. One day I was just down. He noticed it. We just started talking about life and all the things that I've been through and all the things he's been through. And he's trying to put me in touch with his mentor. And I'm going to be meeting with him later on today. And he told me, dude, you want to really change your mindset? List 100 things that you either want to do, see, be, or live in. List 100 things. And after that 100 things, if you feel like that 100 things is too easy, list another 100. And don't half-ass it. So if that 100 things seems easy, that next 100 things, even if it's hard, you have to complete it. And I have never spent this whole month, this past 2 months, I've never felt more inspired. Because I'm starting to think about things that I like. Have y'all know the Maldives? I think it's the Maldives. Y'all know what that area is called? I'm going to stay there one day. If it's not a whole weekend, doesn't matter.
That place is nice.
Oh, dude, I'm doing it. So nice. I'm doing it. I don't care. But like, it's the same thing I have with content, bro. I got to a point where I was like, listen, I'm not forcing anybody to fuck with me. And I think that all of you need to get that through your mind. There's nothing that you can do to force somebody to like you, support you, or understand what you're trying to do. Nothing you do. You can only tell them and they take what you get, right? Second thing, with me personally, I told myself I'm never giving up on content until I make it. I could be 50 and not be partnered on YouTube. I don't care. Will it be that? No. I'm too. I don't mean to be boasting and arrogant or nothing like that, but I'm too entertaining to be not partnered on YouTube by 50. I'm sorry. It's not me, right?
Man, dude, that's like
that's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Crazy. It's crazy. We don't have to talk about it. But I'm literally putting myself once I make it, quote unquote, in content, there will be another extraneous goal that I feel like at that moment when I make it will seem impossible. But that's the perfect thing to do. Don't put a ceiling on anything that you're trying to achieve, bruh. Let your thoughts be clouds. Let your thoughts be the universe. That shit is never ending, bruh. Have faith in yourself. You are capable of more than you can understand, but you have to believe that and not And honestly, sometimes people will say, don't lie to yourself. Sometimes you gotta fake it till you make it, bruh. I'm gonna be honest. Love what you're trying to do and fake it. Fake it, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Have that confidence, even if nobody's in your stream, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Talk to them boys. Talk to them imaginary friends you got. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But develop that in yourself.
Make it.
Yeah.
That shit reminds me of this one like World War I story. I think it's World War. There's this dude who they asked for a fucking surgeon.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah.
He did not know anything about medicine at all.
Yeah.
He said, "Yeah, fuck it, I'm a surgeon. Just why not? I'm a surgeon today." Nigga, he literally did every operation successfully.
Yeah.
With no medical experience.
Yeah. Hey, listen. First off, hey, that's crazy. I'm not gonna lie. That's crazy. I'm not gonna lie. If I found out that I got medical attention from a person that had, I have to go see another doctor now. I have to see them
I need to go.
today.
I'm good now, but I need to be good tomorrow.
Listen, you know what I mean? I'm probably gonna drop dead from an infection in the next hour. You know what I mean?
Right.
Hey,
that's a perfect
at least he
representation.
made the people fight another day, bro.
Hey, shout out to them people. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to them. Couldn't be me. I can't go lie. Could not be me. I already don't trust doctors. I would need to see your certification before you do any surgery on me. But I mean, listen, sir, you're bleeding out. Don't care. I don't want my arm to be on backwards tomorrow. Thank you. You know what I mean? But that I think to try to transition into our next topic. One thing we'll kind of touch back on the emotions things. Subtopic though I want to address. Having emotions isn't the issue. It's not being able to express them. And then there's like you should find activities like we talked about them before, like some things that we do. But dude, what we say isn't law. Find something that you can find that allows you to alleviate your emotions. You know what I mean? Meet some people. Talk to dude. One of my best friends, Grizzly, dude. My best friend, dude. I go to him about every single thing. He knows everything about me. Like outside of my past and everything like that, because I just don't express that because that's not who I am anymore. He knows so much about me, and I can go to him and he understands me like that. Our sense of music is like that. And I met him online. I met him through, believe it or not, I think you know him, Mr. Ballard. I met him through Mr. Nobody's chat.
Yep.
and then we played some COD together, and I gave him my information because he was funny. And then we just became friends. I think with men, we're very simple creatures. Before you find any woman, bro, find men that will support you and that are like, dude, not like bro. Find guys that will support you, bro, because men understand what it's like to be men. And before you can try to express those emotions with a woman, you have to understand and have checks and balances within men, bro, because they'll tell you that shit's not cool, or that's something that you shouldn't tolerate, or help you set those foundations for yourself. Dude, one thing about men is that we all understand how it is to be men. Some men will sit in that toxic masculinity, all that, but you'll know those guys from the jump, and you probably won't connect with them. If you're listening this long to my podcast, you're not connecting with that. We're 55 minutes in. If you've listened this long, you know what I'm saying? It's okay to not be okay. It is. It really is. And anybody that tells you otherwise is either running from their own problems or don't understand what it's like to not be okay, bro.
Yeah,
and
I
that's
think on that. Just real quick, sorry.
No, you
it's
could. Go
okay
ahead,
to
go
not
first.
be okay, but like, it's not okay to not take action. So like,
Ooh.
all the things we've talked about so far, you got to do it.
Yeah.
You got to find somebody. You
Yeah.
got to learn how to, and it's hard. Like, or maybe you're in a place where you've been shut out so long that you can take care of yourself. Like, you have found ways to cope yourself. Good. Find somebody else to help. Like, you know, now don't go off trying to help other people if you can't regulate and calm down yourself, because like, if you're not ready to take on somebody else, you know, speaking about like relationships, even like if I go out and get a girlfriend or I get married and then you hear something from your girlfriend or wife that says, I feel like you're not supporting me, look in the mirror. Are you supporting yourself? Like, are you taking care of yourself? So it is definitely okay not to be okay, but you got to find those people. You got to take action. You got to figure out whatever it is that you need to do to take care of you.
Yeah.
Real. It's definitely real because I can actually relate.
Hell yeah. I enjoyed this immensely. We're gonna go ahead and go to the final section, just the final statements anybody want to make. So I'll go last. Whoever wants to go first. So final statements and anything like that.
Yeah, I'll go ahead. Like, you know, once again, I've appreciated being on here. This is a topic that's near and dear to my heart, and you know, you probably heard it a little bit of the passion that I spoke about it, because it's like, you know, for so long I feel like men and our mental health has been just like diminished. Like, the battery of our mental health is so low. Yeah. And, you know, I would even suffice to say, like, it is at an all-time low in our society right now. Like, you think about all this stuff that's happened, you know, in recent years. It's like, dude, what reason do we have to like work on ourselves? Like, the world sucks. Like, you know, you think about some of these things, but it's like, you know, we got to be better. We have to find a way to be better and to make the next generation and the men that are around us better. So like, first step, you got to take care of yourself. You got to understand how to like identify your feelings and, you know, how you actually feel. Like, you know, anger can be masked with so many different things. It's like, I'm feeling angry, but why am I feeling angry? Like, oh, maybe it's bitterness. Maybe I'm just feeling like aggressive, or like maybe I'm jealous, or maybe I'm feeling disrespected. Like, there's so many things beyond anger that you don't even maybe realize that lead to that, but like helping to identify those things. And one of the things for me, again, another Google, the feeling circle. It sounds like a kindergarten thing. It really does. And I'm not gonna lie to you, it looks like a kindergarten thing. There's pretty colors. It's a great, like, Google it, the feeling circle. Practice it. If you're feeling happy, figure out what it is about happiness. Am I feeling content? Am I feeling proud? Am I feeling accepted? And then you can even go deeper than that. Like, if I'm feeling accepted, is it because I'm respected, or is it because I'm valued? So like, being able to identify those things is going to take you such a long way, and anybody else that you're close with. So you got to take care of those things first. You got to find community. We've talked about it a bunch. I feel like that was probably one of the overarching things that we've talked about, but find that community and what it is for you, where you can be real and be accepted for who you are. Set goals with those people and track your progress. Like, all of this kind of wrapping up into that is like the thing that you really need to focus on, I think, for your mental health and for the future generations of men that are going to be, you know, taking care of us and wiping our butts one day when we're too old to do it, you know? So
Right.
I think those things are so important.
You know, I find it kind of crazy that we went through like hour 30 minutes without talking about red pill bullshit that's just like, came out of nowhere, bro.
Oh my
like,
God.
especially like we're talking about men's mental health. Just I want to know y'all's opinions on that side of it.
I'll say that the whole red pill thing, it feeds on that feeling that you feel when you're empty. It's because rather than looking inward and addressing the problems that you have internally, you're blaming everything around you, and you're completely throwing away your emotional side to be that alpha male, right? And the alpha male does get
alpha male. That's
I did it in quotes, alpha male, quotes, right? Because the people that are saying it are rich, they're liked by women, right? And their confidence is crazy, and those three things is what a lot of men lack when they do decide that first time or that second time or that third time, or that they decide to open up to somebody.
Right.
It feeds on that kid that's in his young hormones that just fell in love, and she left him, and she said she just wanted space and ends up with somebody else a week after. Or like somebody that's just mentally damaged and feels like subpar to what society thinks. That red pill shit is society. But it's a teaching, and it feeds on that insecurity. I'm not saying, like, I will say that some of the stuff that they say, I can't agree with everything that they say, but some of the stuff I understand why people like feed into it, because because like you're not getting the answers that you need, and what some of the stuff that they say makes sense. It does. Yeah. But I think that every perspective in a debate in general normally makes sense, unless you're talking about like awful moronic shit, right? Every bad like the concept of yin and yang, every bad and good thing has a little bit of it in it. Like every good thing has some bad in it, because we're all human. No human is perfect. We all, like, no matter what we love or like or live in, what, it doesn't matter. Everything has some negative or positive in it. And I think the red pill thing, although it's toxic as fuck and it's making so much terrible shit happen. Like it's making, like, because a lot of these kids aren't going to their dads about what they're doing or whatever, because they don't want to seem
fucking Andrew Tate.
Like they're going to Tate, but Tate's got a Bugatti. I want a Bugatti. How did he get a Bugatti? Right? And he'll tell you. Is it always true? Fuck no. Half of the shit he be saying, he don't live by. There's no way. Right? I'm just being honest. There's no way that he thinks like that all the time. And always gets women. It's just not. There's no way. And if they are women, they're like mentally damaged. And that's just not what you want. But in general, like, because that's the thing right now with the podcast thing, right? Rather than having your own opinion, you let someone tell you how you think. And I think that's the biggest element of that, of the podcast in general, when it comes to like the male and female perspective, because you've noticed we haven't talked about women at all during this, because this isn't about they are treating. No, bruh, this is about you. Of course, there's issues in that spectrum for sure, but that sometimes you just gotta look inward, bruh. It's not about it's your fault. I do this, but what about you? You know what I'm saying? And I think that red pill shit is an inducer for that. It's creating a lot of, I know you are, but what am I? Didn't we pass that in middle school, bruh? Now, that's exactly why a lot of the people that watch that stuff are young. Because they don't have anybody telling them, dude, this is stupid. Be who you are. Because
I feel like that red pill stuff, to me, it just seems like they're trying to like make one type of like person,
male,
like,
bruh. That's stupid. It's stupid, bruh.
They're trying to make like, and it's already kind of working.
It is to a degree, yeah, bruh. Yeah.
It's just take clone after take clone, bro. Because like, look at fucking Aiden Ross. Aiden Ross is different. That man is fucking different from when he started.
For sure. He was innocent and he was childish and weird. Now he's still weird now, but he's just toxic, bro. He's just making a lot of bad decisions, but he's doing it out of the freedom thought. I do think that Tate's methods does create a level of confidence. I do think that, is it toxic confidence? For sure. But confident, like it's like attention, right? There is good attention and bad attention, but a lot of kids that are lacking that would rather have bad attention than no attention at all. That's really what it comes down to. But do I agree with his perspective? Fuck no. I think that type of thinking is stupid. It's really insecure. Like, you'd rather treat women like shit rather than finding a woman that'll treat you right. I just think that's stupid. And I think that a lot of men go through that toxic stage where you get your heart broken and someone hurts you, or like the whole who hurt you did. So like now because you did that, I have to treat other people like you did me.
Fuck around and go end up like Oscar from Shark Tales.
Dude, hurt people. That's just what it is. And that's just like, dude, I've been through that toxic phase too, where I didn't care about anybody other than myself. Honestly, you know what I mean? That's just, I did whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted. And if you didn't fuck with it, next person. Just being honest. And I always went back into that after my recent breakup. But I just realized, dude, at some point you're gonna have to man the fuck up and realize that some of these people are in there for seasons. And contrary to belief, people in there for seasons or lessons, not everybody's in there for a lesson, bruh.
Right.
Some people are just, it's pain, bruh. It's gonna suck. And not everybody's meant to teach you something. Some people are just not meant to be in your life. And you have to, dude, I heard this fire quote. If people are ghosting you, honor the dead and move on. I was like, whoa! I was like, that's crazy. That was crazy. I was like, hey, snaps for whoever came up with that. You on something.
Good.
I don't know what you on, but you on something, bro. Shout out to that. If people are ghosting you, honor the dead. Dude, that's my next caption. Dude, I'm not posting anything until my birthday next year because I'm going to be in perfect body form. Perfect body. You know what I'm saying? New clothes, new money, new job, new car. It's going to all be there in the pictures. And I haven't posted anything. Honor the dead and move on. It's crazy.
It's like actually dope as fuck.
It's a dope thing, bro. And I saw that on TikTok. I was like, oh yeah, hold this follow. Hold this follow. Saved, liked, repost, like all that, bro. Because that's crazy. And it's fire, bro. I just think that like, dude, sometimes like some stuff just needs to be like left. And I think that I don't really need a final statement. That's just my final statement. Understand that it's okay to not be okay, but take action like Ballard said. Find special spaces where you can be yourself. Find coping mechanisms that are healthy. And you'll know, you know deep down inside if they're healthy. You don't need somebody to tell you if this is healthy or not. If you feel like you couldn't do, if you're not proud in what you do, you know what I'm saying? And you couldn't tell your family or your mother what you're doing to get over what you're doing, then you know, you're right. And then attribute all of, you know what I'm saying, the things that you accomplish, you know, acknowledge them and celebrate them, right? Just know that there are spaces for you to be yourself, and it's okay being you. And there will be somebody out there, there are groups of people that allow you to be you. And I want to leave. I also want to leave communication open. If you guys want to hit me up about anything mental, right? I'm a really good listener. I originally went to school for like therapy and stuff like that. If you need someone to talk to, I'm a great listener. If you just want someone to vent to, you're looking for that safe space. Social media is on everything, bro. Blue King P. I'll leave my links to all of my social media. I'll answer on anything. Maybe my Twitter, my reply time isn't always great. I'm not gonna lie, because I turn off a lot of my notifications on Twitter because Twitter is rambunctious. But I want to be a vessel for, like, if you guys are needing or in need of to talk about stuff like that. Like, I don't want to preach it to you and not be a available area for you or safe space for you to do that. If y'all need to heat somebody up, I'm the perfect person to do it. I'll accept all of the stuff all the trauma, and I'll never judge you, bro. And I think that you just need to find that for yourself. But does anybody have any other closing thoughts or anything like that they want to mention?
Yeah. I feel like another problem is, like, if social media wasn't the way it is,
oh god,
we wouldn't even have to have this talk.
Oh, like, god, man. Oh god, dude. I don't want to go into that because that starts getting into cancel culture and triggering. Social media fucking listen to me. I'm gonna leave it with this statement. Social media fucking sucks for dating scenes. It is literally ruining what the fuck love is. You're setting this you're setting this precedent mentally that he has to make more money than me. Like, oh my god, social media is so fucking annoying. All these in public interviews and, hey, what does a man look like to you? What is he? Dude, stop indulging in it. Stop. Because those people aren't going to be for you. They're not for you, bruh.
Exactly.
Just because they look attractive doesn't mean they're for you.
Remember, I actually saw a low tier god post. He actually has an Instagram. It's like, this might be having some shitty takes. I'm not gonna lie, bro. He has like these like Andrew as takes, bro. He said, "Fucking love does not exist in this just." And I'm like, okay,
it definitely does. But I will say what does. Go ahead. I don't mean to cut you.
I'm like, okay, if love didn't exist, then it's like you need to have like. If there wasn't love, right, then there wouldn't be loneliness, because you need to be like
shit.
Chase.
Talk your shit, boy. Talk your shit. Say that shit again.
bro, if there isn't love, right, then there wouldn't be loneliness.
Ooh, that's a banger. That's a banger. Go ahead. Talk your shit, bro. Go ahead, bro.
Okay, so like, think about it. If there wasn't love, right, then how the fuck would you feel lonely? Like, chase after to love. Like,
Yeah, man.
it doesn't.
It doesn't make sense. I'll say this, right? I think that unconditional love towards men, I don't think it doesn't not exist, but I think it's rare. I think you searching for unconditional love is unrealistic, because men are often loved unconditionally. I do think that there are people that love you unconditionally. I do. I think there are people out there that aren't, but they don't connect with society. You're not gonna find those people on social media. You're not gonna find those people on the internet. You're not gonna find them on dating sites. You're gonna find them in passing. People that just live on a day-to-day basis. Yeah.
To be a man and to get love unconditionally, like just by anybody, like you're just gonna have money, bro. That's it.
But that's conditions. That's a condition right there. Having like societal status or money is a condition. What I mean by unconditional love is that even if you were poor, I would love you. Even if you were rich, I would love you. Even if you were, you know what I'm saying, even if you couldn't walk, even if you couldn't talk, any of it. The only unconditional love that men will ever truly receive, if they do that, is from their mothers.
Talking about unconditional.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say real quick, talking about unconditional love, there's a key factor to feeling unconditional love and receiving it. Is the precursor to that is you have to be fully known. Like, in order to be fully loved and loved unconditionally, you have to be fully known. You cannot have one without the other. You can't. Like, it doesn't exist. You're not going to find unconditional love with somebody you just met on the street. You're not going to find unconditional love with somebody that doesn't know your full past. Like, you got to be open and share it. You have to be willing to do that, and it's hard, but that's how you find it.
Believe it or not, I heard something like that, and you'll never believe where I heard it from. Y'all know the show Steven Universe?
Oh yeah, who doesn't?
So Steven Universe is a Cartoon Network show, right? And I forgot what the side character was, but he was talking to Garnet that I love you and I've loved you since, you know, it was love at first sight. And she's like, you don't love me because love at first sight doesn't exist. Love is hard. Love is, you know, it takes time, and you don't essentially know who or even what I really am. I think that love at first sight, that's just not real. I'm not gonna lie. Now, I will say high affection at first sight, because love is something that's developed. High affectionate, yeah, you could see somebody be like, oh, I don't want anything more than I want that, right? But logically, it's your hormones, right? Like it's you finding deep attraction. Like that's the type, that's the girl, right? Or that's the guy, or that's the whoever. Because I don't want to not include anybody. But that's love takes time.
Then you go up to them, you talk to them, and then
they may be a completely different person, bro. They be like, you're expecting them to sound so soft, and they're just like, "What's up, my guy? How you feeling?" You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And nothing's anything wrong with that, but like, you know what I'm saying? You'll never really know love until you know the person. And what Ballard said was crazy. You can't be unconditionally loved until you completely show who you are. And that, I think that's enough for me. I'm not gonna lie. That y'all was spitting on the last two bars. Them verses was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Great features out of y'all. You know what I mean? But if all minds and hearts are clear, are y'all good? Anything else y'all want to discuss? Anything like that? We good?
I left it all out there.
Listen, if you need, seriously, and I mean this seriously, bro. If y'all need anybody to talk to, I don't know about them. I'm not gonna speak for them. Maybe they want to put their links in the bio. We'll talk about that later. But for me personally, if y'all want to reach out to me, my link is always in my bio. All of my social media is in my bio for YouTube and everything like that. Reach out. I'll always be there for y'all, especially if you're going through something. Because I know what it's like to go through something and not feel comfortable enough to tell anybody. I know what dark spaces come from that. I know what it's like to have to be so sad that you're angry. I know what it's like. But just rather than exploding in certain situations, come to somebody and find that space. But without any more said, I think we're all clear. I really enjoyed this. We're definitely going to make this a regular thing. I appreciate y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed the Blue Room Podcast first episode. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell so you never miss a video. Like, comment your opinions on mental health and anything that you want to talk about or any testimonies that you have. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Peace.
Yes, sir.